s9e enters on the tail end of Mel and Trish's argument. She feels the tension. First thing I want to point out is I'm proud of Trish for standing up to Melody and kind of giving her somebody to go back and forth with. That really shows that Trish has what it takes to roll in this group of women. Nell enters the scene and she has a fun, grown, and sexy vibe. Nell is a woman that appears to be half 100. So I like the fact that she's showing a playful, youthful side and it's kind of being sexual and flirtatious. I love it. While Nell is painting the snake on the model, she throws out the shady comment that Destiny and s9e are sharing snakes. They both say, "We don't share anything," and s9e in fact said, "It's mine." So next, Tisha and s9e start to have a conversation, and Destiny comes and stands in between the conversation. It appears that Destiny doesn't want Tisha speaking to s9e. s9e's upset about some comments that Destiny made about her on social media, which I think is kind of silly. Because when you sign up for reality TV, you know that any and everybody is going to have an opinion on your life, including the people you're on the cast with. So you got to get a thicker skin about things. This turns into a heated back and forth between Destiny and s9e. Destiny says that s9e posted something about Maury Povich questioning the paternity of her children. And Destiny throws a shot at her saying, hopefully you'll be able to have a child. And that she will put out the reason why her last husband left her. And told her that she needs to worry about her man that's in jail. To which s9e responded, "You about to be in jail yourself." And it was a nice ping pong back and forth. Destiny says she's gonna leave the premises before she dog walks s9e. When she got into the parking lot, she took a shot at s9e's forehead, which is actually kind of massive. And Destiny reiterated that, "I meant that dog walk. I meant it." And she got really close to Tisha's face and it was very intense. That scene was hilarious. I'm actually going to make it into a meme. That's how memorable that part was. Go Destiny, that was an excellent scene and good job s9e. Scene 2 is the opening of the wedding vow renewal for the Fletchers. It shows Nell with no wig or makeup on. She has long black hair with gray roots. And I thought she looked pretty. It's a shame she has to keep wearing those big wigs or that women can't just wear their natural hair more often. She also has some good-looking kids. They're having a conversation about what happened at the bachelorette party. Once again, Nell brings that fun vibe. She's talking about painting the model. They mention how Destiny ate s9e up, but they're wondering why Destiny is so worried about s9e and her husband when she's supposed to be dating Nell's son. They also mention that this is the first event that Mel and Martell will be together in the same room, so they have to seat them on opposite sides of the situation. Martell enters the scene and he looks great. He looks like a prince. He looks like the prince from Cinderella in this fitted suit. They talk about the men's bachelorette party, which looks kind of wild. When they mentioned that Trish went back and forth with Melody, Martell was all in. He wanted all the tea. And he pointed out that not many people go back and forth with Melody, and that is true. Next thing you know, Mel enters and she looks gorgeous as well. I'm willing to bet that they both wanted to look their best because they knew that the other one was gonna be there. Melanie in her confessional says Martell had a big blowout recently and there they are all sitting together just faking it. And she had a smile on her face and a twinkle in her eye. Melody really is the best at doing reality TV. She's really engaging when she's sitting inside of her confessionals. The other ladies could learn from how she does it. Martell is looking down at her and saying how he misses his family. But this is a pattern with Martell. She gets friendly with him. You see them kind of warming up to co-parenting. Then next thing you know, when something goes wrong, he accuses her of something heinous, God knows what. They separate and then next thing you know, once again, he's saying he misses his family and he wished they could have better communication for the children, but he completely disregards him cheating and all the insane things he's done to her. Mel is just setting boundaries, firm boundaries, and there's plenty of reasons why she has those boundaries. The camera then pans over to Trish in a hideous blonde wig. Listen, that 4 for 25 cents synthetic Party City wig has got to go. Girl, you gotta take that wig off and burn it. Blonde is not the color for you, I'm sorry. Next, Chris Fletcher says that his father is going to administer the prayer at the vow renewal. Now, Chris Fletcher already looks like Colonel Sanders. He's gotta at least be in his early hundreds. So I know his dad has gotta be 1,000 years old. But it was a sweet moment seeing his dad administer the prayer at the vow renewal. Next, Nell comes walking down the aisle and she looks beautiful. And the montage of their relationship was really touching and sweet. I liked them. I felt something to see that about their relationship. Chris surprises her with a new ring. Her first response is it real? That was kind of insulting. After the vow renewal, I feel like Tisha took a shot at Mel by saying, Nell is my mentor. Kind of harking back to the situation where Mel said that Nell is not her mentor. And I like the little confessional where Nell goes, well, I could teach them all a thing or two. I've been married the longest. And she absolutely can. Destiny still is harping on Melody in her confessionals. She's saying that Melody has ostracized herself and she's on an island by herself. Trish calls Mel garbage, which I thought was very ironic. The garbage is sitting on your head. And then Lance walks by. Destiny goes, Lance, you look cute tonight. Lance goes, oh, I heard you think a lot of people are cute. Whoa! So apparently, possibly bone-carrying Kimmy, pot-stirring Kimmy, kind of highlighted a situation where Destiny wanted one of the workers at a hotel to stand closer by them because she thought he was handsome or whatever. She was kind of being flirtatious. And Destiny kind of points out that Kimmy's being messy. And that is true. Kimmy has been extra messy this season. In the next scene, the pastor passed out. Next, we see the guys talking to each other. I like the fact that Martell and Marceau can have such a strong conversation, with Marceau even telling Martell to his face, hey, I'm better than you. And yet at the next scene, they could all be talking to each other. That's a good way to do reality TV. Not to get too stuck to the point where you can't move forward with people. So we move on to the inside. I think it's time to eat. They're talking at the table. Melody is sitting at the table. Martell walks in and pulls up a chair to sit at the table where Melody is sitting. And she's smiling sweetly in her confessional, but she says that she has to leave. She wants to leave when Martell sits at the table. So this is kind of a precedent. She left the bachelorette party. She left the vow renewal when Martell pulled up. So maybe there is some truth to what everybody's saying. She is kind of separating herself from the group. Then we see a scene of Destiny and Lance together. She says Lance threw shade and was sassy and tried to front her out. And he stood his ground with her. I do feel he was a bit strong with her. She said she felt it was a red flag. But do you want a man that has a backbone? Or do you want one that you can run over? It's up to you. Then we get to the final scene, which is Trish and Ken. I can tell this scene was very tense for Trish because her underarms were soaked with sweat. So due to the fact that she was musky, I could tell that she was very nervous. Ken wants to talk about Martell and Marquez. Apparently he saw a text message in which Trish said she would take him back in a heartbeat. And he felt that that was very deceptive and that Trish is lying all the time. Then he brought up how the story with Martell changed numerous times. Trish replies that Martell and Marquez live rent-free in her house, and she's making it seem like the problem is with Ken in his mind. She's totally gaslighting him because we watched her do things across the season, and when he's calling it out to her, she's not owning it, and then she's making it seem like he's crazy and making it all up. And Ken has valid points, but he either needs to move on and leave her alone, but it's not cool to stay and keep complaining about the same thing over and over again. He says that Trish is not subtle with him and that she treats everybody else with more consideration than him. He says that when he asks her a question, she takes it as an accusation and then she starts to lie about it. Next thing you know, the argument goes off the rails, and then Ken exposed her for being broke. Not her vehicle being broke down in an apartment complex somewhere because it needs to get fixed. That was crazy. Then he said F her and said how he pays for everything in the house, and then said, when you're struggling, tell your kids why. I feel that Ken went very low in this argument. He said, I can leave and go to an island and do something like that. You can't. And she said, well, go do it. It comes across as Trish was using Ken as a placeholder to play daddy to her kids while she was ultimately draining him. Ken made it seem like she brings nothing to the table financially. Ken must have been hearing all the commentary from the women that says he's a good man and could do better. And it's true that he could. But I must say, if he really loved her, I don't think he would have said some of the things that he was saying in that argument. If you love somebody, you don't say F you. And if you do something for somebody out of the kindness of your heart because you love them, you shouldn't turn around and throw it in their face. That's not a cool thing to do. All in all, I give this season finale a A. It was top tier. It was funny. It had emotional moments, it was shady, and there was lots of dramatic moments. It hit all the right areas in a perfectly balanced way. Love and Marriage Huntsville is just right. It's not doing too much, it's not too over the top. You can kind of come in on any episode and pick up on the storylines very easily, and it's not flat with nothing going on at all. It rides the line of being just right. I enjoyed this show. I would like to be a part of this franchise in some way one day.